Hello, hello, hello. It's Dr. Rowe here. I hope you are well. And I actually wanted to do a message out to you today about a subject that I think is, it's bubbling in the background. I've been in this field for, 20 years now and teaching it for, I've been in this field since 2001. So, 20 years. And I've been teaching it for almost as long. And one of the questions that people ask year on year is now a good time to get into property? And literally year on year they ask the same question. In the last recession, is it a good time to get into property when the market was booming? Is now a good time to get into property, Dr. Rowe? I've been teaching this to tens, if not hundreds of thousands of people now for this time, all over the world. And it's been an amazing experience, but the same question comes up. Is now a good time to get into property? So I don't really talk about what I do in the Facebook environment. As you know, most of the time I'm just sharing as many things as I can, insights, all the learnings, all the work that I've done on myself. But with people, my two big specialist passions, as you know, is real estate investing and teaching people how to do that, and then personal development and communication, particularly like communicating with impact. So I'm going to start talking in this space on Facebook a little bit more about property and getting a message out there to say yes, because I think we need to empower ourselves. It's time to take back control of our financial future, and for a lot of people they've lost that. So in answer to the question, is now a good time to get into property, the answer is yes. Now have a look. I've created a link here, and Martin Robertson and myself, we've known each other for a long time, probably 15, 16 years now. We've kind of created this 8 steps to getting into property and to build a property business properly. And you need these 8 components. If one of these is missing, it's a bit like a wheel that clunks down. So if you want to go and spend time with me, go do that. Click on the link and you can come through to a presentation that I'm doing for free. So go do that. But let me share with you, if I can find it, some of the key reasons why it is such a good time to get into real estate right now. So the first one is this. There's blooming massive demand. I mean, we're talking about, in the United Kingdom, a population of 66 million people. The shortfall of houses being built per year is somewhere in the region of about 250,000 properties a year. And due to the current circumstances, both the recession, the way the economy is going for the last few years, plus gripped by COVID, as I'm recording this right now, there's a lot of people that are going to need to rent for longer. So not only are there a lot of people wanting to rent, but there's more people wanting to rent for longer. And I talk in more detail about this on the presentation. So there is huge demand. That's the first thing. Don't underestimate this. And as many of you know, when there's a recession, the divorce rate goes up. So that typically springs 1 or 2 people back into the market to want to rent. And there's certainly a growing demand for smaller units, individual rooms. And that opens up an opportunity for us to both help people and generate an income. So make no mistake, as I'm recording this now in 2021, but then the same thing is going to be in 2022 and 2023, because the knock-on effect for this economic situation is going to hit us for the next 3 or 4 years. We haven't even been hit by the big recession yet. That's knocking on the door, so be mindful of that. Also, another big, massive benefit to anybody watching this is there's some really big opportunities for long-term contracts. So the government now, we've just been approached just recently again by a local council to say, we want to place people with financial difficulties into the type of properties that you've got, good quality houses of multiple occupation. So what the government is doing to incentivize us as landlords, and this is why when I'm teaching internationally, they love this, is the fact that even somebody from overseas can buy a property here and get a 5-year contract on it. So the tenant becomes effectively the British government, and they pay you for 5 years. Could be for 3 years, could be for 7 years. Some of the contracts we've got are 7 to 10 years on our properties. So that means once you've bought it, basically you don't have to do anything with it for the next 7 to 10 years. In fact, in many cases, those contracts are repairing as well. So outside of you having a mortgage and insurance on it, you're basically covered. So this is why it's such a good time. There's some brilliant strategies right now. As long as you do it properly, you educate yourself to do it properly, and don't try and be a maverick and give it a go on your own. That's where a lot of people lose money and make a lot of mistakes. And on that note, by the way, even geographically, if you think, I can do it on my own in your base where I am, in Sussex, for example, and you want to build a portfolio maybe 3, 4, 5 hours away in Yorkshire or Lancashire and the Manchester area, Liverpool, or up towards the northeast, you're going to need a separate team there. So it's important to know how to do it, but know how to find the right teams as well. And I start to talk about that, when I'm presenting this. And Martin and I have had these discussions over the years. I remember when I sat down with Martin Roberts about 15, 16 years ago, and we were looking through some of the content that he'd got, and he was like, how do we get this into a format that we can teach people? So I've been blessed to work alongside him over these years. And have a look, because I think you'll really find it fascinating, the presentation that I've created. I'd like you to come and join me on that. And then the next one, of course, is there's a massive need for professional landlords. The Landlord Association have identified that 75% of landlords in the United Kingdom, this is a fact, 75% of landlords are amateur landlords. So we've got this sweeping thing going on at the moment with licensing being enforced in certain areas, selective licensing. People are being required to be able to get themselves accredited and have certificates. I've just had actually my landlord's certificate arrive for one of the areas that I invest this morning. And this is the stuff that amateurs don't realise, and of course they go starting to buy properties in an area and then find out they can't operate those properties. So that's another big one to be aware of. And finally, interest rates are low. These are the lowest interest rates in our living history. Seriously, I mean, I've been around 55 years. It's crazy. You can get really low fixed rate mortgages right now, and the banks are projecting that the rates are going to stay low, which is why they're offering us low rates for a long time. And as property investors, oddly enough, it's actually easier to get a mortgage on a buy-to-let property in a portfolio that you build than it is getting it for your own home. So there's some fantastic opportunities, and I'm just scratching the surface here. I hope this is inspiring for you, because as I'm recording this, it's the start of the new year. A lot of you are looking for opportunities. I don't normally promote like this so actively. I just teach, and hopefully you're getting some value from this. But what I'm going to say is join me, because I tell you now, I've got some cool stuff. 8 very specific steps, and you can follow it all the way through, and it hopefully will make sense to you. And some of the stuff I'll share with you can straight away go away and think, okay, what if I was to implement this? And even if you're an existing property portfolio owner, maybe you've got 3 or 4 properties already, there are ways to expand that, to double, triple, quadruple that. And many people that buy properties initially don't buy it for cash flow. We're talking about buying a portfolio that produces a passive income, that when that passive income comes in, it supports your lifestyle. Whether you want to leave your job or not, you have the ability to be financially secure, financially independent. And it is possible to do that in a couple of years if you choose to. If you gave yourself 2 to 3 years to build a passive income, amazing, just like 2023, 2024, you may not have to work if you choose not to. I know some people say, I still want to work. That's fantastic, but at least you've got the choice. So, is it a good time? Yes. Should you get into it? I think so, but maybe you need to find out more before you make an educated decision. Anyway, come join me. The link is below. Have a great evening. Dr. Rose signing out. Bye.